What's going on, y'all? Your boy Darius here, back here for another video, and this time we are here for another death battle! And this time it is Ash versus Yugi. Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Pokemon. I have no idea who's going to win this, honestly, because it has been so long since I've engaged with either medium, either anime, either, series. Like, this is more so from when I was a child. Like, at a certain point, it was too much Pokemon going on. I fell off. Too many Pokemon to name. At one point, I was on track to be one of those guys who I know every single damn Pokemon. I can name them. I know what their powers and their abilities are. All right. I think it was after the one where, like, Dawn. Wasn't Dawn? One of them named Dawn? Whatever show she was on, and then she left the show. She stopped showing up. I think that was the last Pokemon thing I watched. Or maybe it was something with Greninja. I forgot, dude. It's been so long. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I think as a kid, I just saw episodes here and there. So, really, this is going to be all up to how they show their different abilities. They go down with the different characters as to who I will pick in the end of this. I just do not know. We'll see. Make sure you go over Death Battle, support them. I think this is the final one for the season, and then they'll take their break and they'll come back next year. So, let's see what happens, man. Let's get it.
Pikachu!
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Fly!
Very interesting. Very interesting proposition.
Ash Ketchum versus Yugi Moto.
The biggest question from the playground. Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
But,
weapons,
like, these are,
armor,
like,
and skills to find out who would win.
I definitely
death
remember
battle.
as a kid, man, like, I had some of the cards.
This is a big episode.
Yeah.
Just look at how long it is. So
Yeah,
thanks
right?
to our sponsor, Mad Mushroom, for helping us make it happen. Hello there. Welcome to the world
there.
of Pokemon.
Oh, the kids get their first one at age 10.
Yep.
If you don't sleep in like Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
Ash wanted to be a Pokemon
He's
master.
a 10 for
though he
25
didn't
plus
really know
years.
what that meant yet.
How about taking down your rivals to be the very
That's
best,
amazing.
like
Anime
no one
time,
ever
man.
was?
Crazy.
Better than Gary and his dumb groupies.
Should I just say
Well,
Pokemon
Ash
time?
knew he'd find his answers at the Pokemon League
I think it's
tournament.
been 10
So
since
Oak hooked him up with the electric
90s.
mouse, Pikachu,
Yep.
and went, "He's your problem now, stupid."
Yeah.
Pikachu was a lot.
He was
The new duo had a
son of a bitch.
rocky start, but after an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yep.
25 seasons, over 1,200 episodes,
God.
and the cornerstone of 2000s culture.
Yep.
Ash spent decades as a
That
10-year-old
and
on
Dragon
the
Ball.
great Pokemaniac journey.
We should note we are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which
Okay.
often differs from the original games that inspired it.
Right.
Ash is equipped with tons of Pokeballs and an all-knowing Pokedex.
Yeah,
Plus,
Pokedex.
Also a Pokemon. But in a fight, Ash usually
I didn't know that.
chooses
That's how long I've been
Pikachu.
out.
Give the yellow-red enough voltage and you'll regret it. Even ground types that would be immune
remember
to
Pikachu
electric
fought
attacks
Blanca?
in the games
He's
can't
got
stop
8
what this Pikachu dishes
layers.
out.
Yet somehow Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity.
Yeah.
Over time, Pikachu learned Volt Tackle,
Volt Tackle.
Electro Web,
Pick it,
Electro
pick it,
Ball, and
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! The perfect attack for
Yes.
outgoing flamboyant thieves and air balloons. Looks like they're
Ah, Team Rocket.
blasting
They're
up
blasting up
again.
again!
so clearly
Let's
the
bring my
anime
childhood
doesn't
back
follow
right
the
here,
game
dude.
rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on
Guess
Swellow,
he's gay,
who,
right?
is vulnerable to lightning.
But
Or
somehow they used thunder as a super
isn't it
armor.
Jesse and James?
He
I
even learned how
forgot.
to
I think it's
deflect
James.
attacks by just spinning really fast. Whee!
Speaking of fast, Pikachu has intercepted lightning, but Quick
Okay.
Attack increases that speed even more.
Yeah.
And his Iron Tail really pairs well with Ash's offensive style.
Iron Tail,
the
yeah.
guy plays crazy, opted
Also,
for
like,
big
he
damage over
has he still
stalling.
like,
Ash's
never
style
evolved?
is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
As the great philosophers put it, if it works, is it still stupid?
Ash and Pikachu's bond is magnetic and brought them new allies. Misty, Brock,
Misty, Brock.
Serena, just to name a few.
Yep.
Underneath the stubbornness and crispy bikes, they are loyal friends.
Just like Ash's Pokemon. They're not just collecting dust in a shiny hunting box. Ash's League ID won't let him carry more than 6 at a time, but if
Okay.
he needs them, they'll all come running.
Water types like Squirtle and Lapras are key in seafaring fights.
Squirtle.
And Ash can combine their water attacks with Glalie Ice Beam.
One time, his Weasel got frozen while using Aqua Jet,
God,
which
I'm
is
getting flashbacks
fine.
right
now
now
he's
as
using
a kid
Ice
watching
Aqua
these
Battering
in the
Ram.
morning.
Grass types like Bulbasaur and Torterra induce status effects and heal with synthesis.
But Sceptile's a menace. Yeah, so you got a big, scary, dark ride. Eat this leaf blade, Smeargle victim! Or that's what I would say if Tobias did an action replay of frickin' Latios. Give my man a win, 4Kids.
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't write the show.
They just get me heated.
Yeah.
Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my revenge, and Incineroar. Haha!
Ash had a fiery passion for reaching the top ASAP.
Yeah.
But Charizard wasn't on board. Pursuing pride over
The homie.
packs, Ash lost the Viridian Force for the trees and fumbled the Indigo League.
Harsh lesson, but one he needed. Ash started bonding with Pokemon at a deeper
Didn't
level,
he only,
and that
like, win,
friendship motivated them to dodge light speed
like, a
moves
couple years
like
ago or a
Solar
year
Beam
ago or
and
so?
Psybeam.
Charizard came around too.
Like,
He's
he
the
finally
last
won
one you
a-
want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary,
forgot what he won.
Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
Seismic Toss! The people's elbow of Pokemon. Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders. The Pokemon world is wild.
Ash's Pokedex spells it out. Vanillix causes blizzards. Magikarp leaps over mountains and into space. Dusknoir pulls souls into the
What the
spirit
fuck?
world.
Oh, and Pikachu cleared a storm as wide as an island. Gotta catch 'em all. Surfetch, Butterfree, Heracross, Scraggy, Lycanroc, Palpitoad,
How do
Torkoal,
people remember all
Snivy.
these?
With new regions, soar new flying types like Pidgeot. On land, Ash has physical offense like Melmetal and
Does Ash have
Krookodile,
Greninja?
and Gibble will drop Draco Meteors on anyone, but mainly Piplup.
You want physical? Look at Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a ton. Oh, and this huge log that's basically a whole tree? He chucked it like it was nothing. Ash can choose his own hands if he wants, and he
Jeez.
does a lot. Maybe his secret is watching the Minnesota Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO1 cut it in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr. Mime back home who mind boggles you with Reflect, Light Screen, and Psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime, the stepdad who Ash caught in a Pokeball and brought home. Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life
Aura.
force that
Uh-oh.
interacts with
Aura
souls
farming.
and links Ash with Lucario.
This
Lucario!
sells
That's
at
my guy.
CQC
That's my
and
guy right
shoots
there.
Steel beams and aura spheres.
Lucario is my favorite
And with
Pokemon of
Mega
them all.
Evolution, Lucario's power surges enough to defeat
Like,
champion
as a kid,
Cynthia's
he
Garchomp.
was the
A Mega
coolest
would have
thing
been
ever.
handy at the
What the
Safari
fuck was
Zone
that gun?
when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros, and he keeps hugging them. Ash, they're bulls.
Yeah,
Ash
you idiot.
genuinely loves his little guys, but boy does it suck to see him lose the Pokemon League over and
Yeah.
over again. Kid, just turn the hat backwards and lock
I
in.
have.
Ash is
Shoot, I'll be right back. I actually have. Hold on. I knew I had it. I knew I had it. I knew. I knew I had an Ash Ketchum hat. I forgot when I bought this. I knew I had it. There we go.
Strength is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better
shit
than anyone.
backwards.
With Greninja, Ash
Greninja!
learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him
When
into
Greninja was
Ash
like blowing
Greninja.
up, that's when I
It
really got.
comes with a huge
Well, I didn't get
power
back in it, but I
increase,
started watching
but there's a catch.
couple different stuff. I was like, oh
Ash shares
shit, this
Greninja's
Greninja dude's
pain.
badass.
A small price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir. And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's
Black
Pokemon and
holes,
teamwork get
son.
along like rice balls and jelly-filled donuts. They saved the world from Lysander, who tried to kill all life. They fought the giants. The Reggie kind, not the New York ones, who halted Reggie Gigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the
Alright.
terraforming primal forms of Groudon and Kyogre.
Don't get me started on Alon. Ash did everything right, but no, Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times.
This is why I'm glad
How
I
does
eventually
Blastburn
stopped
beat
watching
Water
it, because I would've
Shuriken?
been-
Get your type charts right, poor kids.
I can't imagine
Four
going
kids
on this
weren't
long.
even around anymore
He
when this
keeps
aired.
losing.
Regardless, after his loss at Kalos, Ash traveled to Alola and beyond to train. And thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar Gigantamaxed.
Hide you, Gengar! He haunts foes
Alright.
with G-Max Terror, or
Okay.
even swallows them up. I bet it smells nasty in there.
Ash and Pikachu also scored a buff with their Z move. All they need is a Power Ring, some JoJo poses, and Thunderbolt
JoJo
will
poses.
evolve into
10 million volt Thunderbolt!
What?
This Rainbow Lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked. Absorb electricity? Cooked. Fused with an Ultra Beast? Cooked.
Ash journeyed so much
Wow.
that monsters from another dimension are nothing to him. Naganadel is a poisonous sniper, and Solgaleo is basically the sun god. a legendary Pokemon whose Sunsteel Strike lights up the universe.
That's
Ash
crazy.
got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact, when Ash and friends
There's
band
Dawn.
together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time.
Dialga.
And Dialga literally controls the concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But
Right.
it all started with Pikachu, so it was gonna end with Pikachu. In the Tournament of Champions, and Alon,
He finally
Ash
won,
faced
right?
the #1 trainer. Finally, after 3,000 years, we're free!
Yeah.
More kids, let my boy win! Yes!
Sure. Ash did his best, and he had no regrets.
At that point,
free
just
to
end the
hand
series.
over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that, to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So he and Pikachu threw a stick in the air and walked away it landed, because in the world of Pokemon,
Wow.
the journey continues.
God dang it. I could not. I'm so glad I eventually got out, dude. I could not.
Many a theorist have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt. What was the secret to such a glorious civilization?
Time travel? The Divine Hand? Aliens? Nah, they were gamers.
Egyptians played games with sorcery. These magical ceremonies punished dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
No, Wiz, they were banished to the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm.
Wink.
Sadly, the way of the Shadow Games was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle. It's said the one who solves the puzzle would pass judgment on evil. And in the modern day, Yugi Muto reassembled
Yeah, I definitely
it
only
and
saw
wished
like
for
a few
friend.
episodes. Of
Yu-Gi-Oh!
like here and there.
Turn that jam up! Yugi was a shy kid that helped run his grandpop's game shop.
But little did he know that completing the puzzle would link his spirit to an ancient
I
pharaoh.
think kids at my
Yami,
school
always willing to lend
were
Yugi
much
a
more
hand,
into
and always on demon time
Yu-Gi-Oh
while
than
doing
Pokemon.
so. He's
Demon time.
anime Jigsaw. Yami wants to play a shadow game.
Whether it's Griddle Air Hockey, Mario Party with Chloroform, or
What?
the game that would take his world and ours by storm, Duel Monsters.
It's a summoner's war. Time to send monsters to the graveyard and
Right.
take your foe down to 0 life points.
When Yugi's grandpa was kidnapped by the deranged CEO Seto Kaiba, Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how, playing a children's card game.
And for his L, Kaiba
Did
was
I have
given
one of
a
those? I
penalty
think I
game.
did.
Lose or cheat against Yami at your own peril. With the puzzle, Yami can punish you in some seriously messed up ways. Illusions of being set on fire, swapping your soul, or the infamous Mind Crush.
The Millennium Puzzle does far more than force hallucinations. It brings monsters to reality,
Yeah,
forms
or
barriers,
anime.
manipulates
Freaking
probability,
anime do that.
and seals away
Like,
spirits.
You
Kid Buu.
can't buy this. It and 6 other Millennium items are juiced up by ghosts.
Despite Yami's retribution, Yugi wasn't aware of this darker half. Yami had amnesia, so he didn't know himself either. But after a run-in with enemy Millennium Ring user Dark Bakura and some seriously hardcore LARPing, Yugi and Yami learned each other's shtick and made the dynamic duo.
With friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey, Yugi and Yami were ready for anything.
Because Yugi had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps for setups.
Oh, trap
and
card.
Exodi... Oh, there they go.
Okay, if Yugi's deck is so good, why isn't it the meta? Put me in, coach. Face my 2,000 card deck.
Don't be too quick to judge. Yugi's a very clever strategist.
Okay.
His style works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible cards.
Yeah, cool story, Wiz. But what's he gonna do about the 3 blue eyes Kaiba's got aiming at his dome?
Simple.
Play, man, this-
Summon the monster card Karibo and have him multiply.
These types
With a
of
1,000
animes
strong
were,
meat
like,
shield,
crazy
a
as a
dragon's
kid.
breath is a gentle breeze.
Well, okay.
Pokemon,
Didn't know
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yugi had that dog
Bakugan.
in him. But I'm about brute force.
Beyblade
Buster
is coming
Blader
out.
and Celtic Guardian are sick,
Beyblade,
nasty
Beyblade,
swordsmen.
let it
Summon
rip.
Skull shoots bolts of lightning, and the giant soldier of stone can destroy moons.
never
Time
Digimon
Wizard's
guy,
better.
yeah.
It's a living clock that fast
Like, I
forwards
never
and
even seen
rewinds
a
a
single
local
thing
area
Digimon.
of time, turning monsters
the
to
intro and that
infants
was
or
it.
wizards into wise sages.
Speaking of wizardry, you can't have a Yugi deck without his right hand, Dark Magician, and his apprentice, Dark Magician Girl.
Both are masters of dark magic, and
Yeah, of
Yugi
course they
often
are.
pairs them with the
in the
damage
name.
redirecting magic cylinder. Now that's thinking with portals.
There's support monsters too. Catapult Turtle is a bot with a cannon that literally launches other monsters.
Wow.
And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords of Revealing Light, which immobilizes monsters, they brought down an entire fortress. Wait, that's not how the card game works. Is he cheating?
Well, we're prioritizing the manga and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real world card game.
Yugi also has tons of spell cards. Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a
Fuck your
time
face.
skip. And Pot of Greed lets Yugi draw 2 more cards, like
Pot of
Greed, which lets him draw 2 more cards, like...
If things get dicey, he has more trap cards to level the field, like Dimension Sphinx, which reflects damage directly back at the opponent's life points.
And if his monsters and life points get wiped, he can just press Ctrl-Z with Mirage Ruler to get them all back.
Pair these cards with Yugi and Yami's teamwork, and nothing could stand in their way. Not even the game's own creator, Pegasus.
Get this, Pegasus can read minds. So in their duel, Yugi and Yami kept swapping souls Freaky Friday style, trusting each other to pick up on the strategies they left behind. And the mind reader was stumped. Yeah, they cheated.
No, Pegasus was reading their minds. Regardless, Yugi and Yami are an excellent dueling pair. Yami trusts Yugi to improve on his plans, while Yugi expects Yami to be his bolder half.
They're not just smart. These card-slinging geeks are somehow expected to be fit enough to dodge lasers, resist getting their souls ripped out, and survive attacks from duel monsters. Even the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
My
And all
God.
of this power culminated in Battle City,
A lot of
hosted
power
by
going on.
Kaiba Corp.
Because Kaiba really wanted that salty run back against his rival.
Salt only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the 3 Egyptian god cards to take him out. These cards were Slifer, the Electric Dragon, Roth, the God Phoenix, and Obelisk, who strikes with the power of infinity.
This
What?
was a different ball game altogether, but Yugi was starting to stand on his own 2 feet.
So Yami and Yugi kept dueling on in a battle city
remember as a
that
kid, people
never
walking
wants
around
to
school with,
end.
like,
Or
that thing.
stop bullying Joey. But to claim the Egyptian gods,
teachers have
Yugi and
costumes.
Yami had to face them in duels, pulling off some ridiculously high IQ plays.
When battling Slifer, they used a handful of weak cards to create an infinite combo of attacks that went past the god's limits.
And later, Yugi combined Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl's magic into Black Burning magic,
Jeez.
promptly defeating Ra.
This ain't new for the magicians. In the movie Bonds Beyond Time, they
Okay.
did something similar against Paradox. It's kinda crazy that together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier cards aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a sentient black hole, Planet Alignment moves solar systems,
What?
and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity field that spawned an entire universe.
But at the top would be the great evil god Zork, who showed up to plunge existence into the realm of darkness. It was time for Yugi to finish the puzzle of who Yami really is.
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy, Ba, which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When
Okay.
used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will duel monsters into reality, even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in the heart of the cards.
I knew it! He's been cheating all this time! He doesn't just make up rules, he's stacking his deck!
Not at all. For Yugi, drawing the card he needs isn't just luck, it's an actual skill that he developed. It's even expanded in following series like GX and 5Ds.
Okay, well, I'd be the king of games too if I could just decide I have a royal flush every round.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past, his multiple lifelong bonds, and his real name, Atem. Claiming his place as the ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti, the creator of light.
She's the ultimate duel monster who banished Zork and all of his scary darkness for good. The epitome of, screw you, I win.
No kidding, for Harakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse with that same light. Judgment had passed.
I'm
Across
thinking
many
Yu-Gi-Oh's gonna
duels,
win- or,
evil
you know,
was
Yugi's gonna win this.
vanquished. There was only one more thing left to do.
A post-game boss duel between Yugi and Atem.
Their farewell was both climactic and bittersweet. Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
Even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros.
Like-
Okay, it should have been me, not him. I'm sorry I called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and
Wow.
passed the torch to future duelists. He would be remembered as the greatest duelist there ever was.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife to rematch Atem. Goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a sweet rocket ship.
There will always be another story, another duel, another game, and you won't find yourself a better opponent than the king of games.
I'm gonna go.
All right, the
with
combatants are set.
Yugi.
We've run the data through all
because there seems to be a whole
possibilities.
lot of like God
Before we start,
shit
let's lay some
going
ground
on
rules.
over there.
We're treating this as a real-time fight, much like typical battles in the Pokemon anime and duels later on in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And given that the rules of Pokemon and duel monsters are clearly incompatible, we'll allow them to summon anything that's reasonably available to them.
Okay.
It's time to death battle!
I'm gonna just go with Yugi. Even though I should, because I'm wearing the hat, I should go with my boy Ash. But I'm gonna go with Yugi. Oh, look at that, so nice. There we go. Like, I would be pulling more so for Ash, but who I think is going
You
to
okay, Pikachu?
it's gonna be
Rock
Yugi.
4 is tricky. Hang in there.
You have Spirit, but I have Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack. And I set one card face down to end my turn.
Whoa. Okay, guys, it's our turn now. Pikachu, throw him up with quick attack. Everyone else, back him up.
Okay, all right. Oh, Lucario, my boy, yes sir.
Great job. Now, Thunderbolt.
Don't
I still
get
haven't
ahead of
seen
yourself.
Detective Pikachu.
You forgot about my
That movie.
face down card.
Very was good, though.
Rise, Dimension Space.
I already forgot that one's name. Who was
I
that?
get it. Good thing we brought them all, right, Pikachu?
What do you mean, them all?
Because he's caught the. Oh God. Uh oh. Let me do it.
I choose you.
Yeah, Charizard. What the hell? Jeez. This is why it's so cool. This is why he was in Pokemon tournament. He's basically a fighting game character. Oh, Pikachu out! Wow. How does this also like? How does this end? Is it? It's a death battle, so is it gonna end with these people dying? Like, is Ash or Yugi gonna die, or like is this the who wins the actual match? Like, you don't want any of them to die. Oh God. I guess I just go until someone can't, like, until one of them can't go anymore. Oh, Greninja! Another fighting game. That's a Soryuken! Uh-oh. I guess that's how you know.
Sorry, partner. Don't worry. It's my turn now.
Oh, really?
I just need to believe in the heart of the cards.
Okay. Oh, yeah, when they do their combination thing.
Who's
Animation, by
that
the way.
Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon? Who's that Pokemon?
This is it! Magicians! Flash burning magic!
There it is.
Arati! Joser!
Yeah, dude, like, there's a whole lot of god power shit going on with Yugi. With Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. You know? I don't think the Pokemon stuff can compare properly. I think it's over, Ash.
Pikachu, let's finish this. Together!
Let me let you turn it back. Oh, look at all his clothes! Look at all his clothes! Look at his face!
You activated my trap card!
He has to burn the trap core!
Cylinder!
He said
With
thing.
it, I'll send your Thunderbolt back to attack your light points directly!
This is insane. Oh, man, there it is. They got Medusa.
That was an awesome duel, Ash.
Yeah. I think I just killed you and all your Pokemon. I'm sure there's a way to get them back, right?
Oh, my childhood.
Yeah.
Where's quick? I need your tears. We can save him.
There's a lot to this, so let's break it
We
down
can
by
play-
experience, strategy, and monsters.
Okay,
Starting
cool.
with experience. Both Ash and Yugi have risen to the top, beating the best of the best, and traveled all over the world.
But Ash traveled more, was in more tourneys, and saved the world way more often.
Okay.
And despite what people say, he wins a lot.
Even Atem's stint as the Pharaoh doesn't tip the scale since he wasn't in charge for very long. Plus, Pokemon evolve over time, literally and figuratively. While Yugi's deck is obviously adjustable, the cards are unchanging, unable to grow like Ash's Pokemon.
Gotcha.
So Ash wins in experience. But when it comes to strategy, he's a
would
wild card.
definitely
He's
go.
skilled at improvisation and using the environment to win. Even machines cannot comprehend his tactics.
But the same goes for Yugi.
Yeah.
Gotta remember, Yugi and Atem's teamwork is second to none. They're masters at exploiting weaknesses, setting up tricks, and
See, I'm so,
surprising
like-
foes with so-called weak cards.
Both
That's
could
how you know
likely
I
adjust to
didn't
each other's
really
unpredictability,
watch
so
the
a
show
Dark
that
Horse
much. I
style
just watched
win
episodes
was
here and there
unlikely.
because I didn't even know there was
Ash's
a
secret
separation
weapon
between
is his
Yugi
bond with his Pokemon,
and, like, the
boosting
other
their
person.
power.
I know you
I'm
had
not
it in
just
their
talking
half.
about Pikachu. His power of friendship invented an evolution for Greninja. That's crazy.
didn't know
Ash's
that. That's
trust
crazy.
in his Pokemon knows no limits.
Silly as it may sound,
I'm like the
Yugi
most
trusts
hardcore
his
casual
deck in the same way.
of any of these
The
things.
heart of the cards is real, and Yugi is determined to support his monsters with spells, traps, and buffs. Look at his duels with Merrick and Paradox, where he bolstered his weaker cards to take down gods. With Ba and Ka, his bonds with his cards manifest them into reality, not so dissimilar from Ash Greninja.
Yeah, Ash has aura, but he never mastered it. And specialties like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, while awesome, only work with specific Pokemon.
And since Ash focuses on offense far more than support, Yugi could control the pace of the fight with cards like Swords of Revealing Light and Magic Cylinder.
But I know some of you are asking, what if Ash threw hands? The kid's strong enough to chop
Yeah, right, we
trees
can
and
start
lift
throwing hands.
baby gods. Just punch him, man. Well, Yugi's similarly tough, and the Millennium Puzzle can make shields, steal ghosts, cast illusions, and mess with minds. If Ash actually tried to punch him, it'd be Mewtwo all over
Oh.
again.
It's a close call, but Yugi takes the edge in strategy.
Okay.
So it all comes down to the monsters.
Which I figured
Yugi
Yu-Gi-Oh
had a
would.
slightly larger pool of monsters,
Yeah.
but Ashes can clear out island-wide storms, fight terraforming beasts, and are
Sure.
stronger than the black hole summoning Gardevoir.
However, Yugi's can rain down meteors, compete with larger black holes,
Yeah.
and even the mid-tier scale to Glow Neos, destroying that relativity field with a universe.
They're on some
and
crazy
Hiraqti
power scaling
created
shit.
Yu-Gi-Oh's whole multiverse, surpassing even Solgaleo's Sunsteel Strike and Dialga's Roar of Time.
And Yugi had more than just monsters on the field. Ash's strength was also his weakness.
Mm-hmm.
His power was evenly spread, reliant only on his remaining Pokemon.
If Mr. Mime faints, no more psychic barriers. If he lost Lucario, no more Mega Evolution, and so on. The longer the battle went, the less Pokemon Ash had, and he did not have a reliable way to bring them back. He doesn't
Gotcha.
carry revives on him, and even then, reviving Pokemon in the anime is entirely different from the games. Meanwhile, Yugi had cards like Mirage Ruler and Monster Reborn that could instantly recall powers he's lost.
And he can, bend fate to draw whatever card he wants. And we didn't even cover them all.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
Yugi's deck has no pathetic cards.
Exactly. Yugi's versatility and power swept Ash's options, giving his
figured.
monsters the lead. He
I-
just
I
needed the
called
right
it.
moment to knock
I
Ash
called it
stone
correctly.
cold.
That was a good attempt at a pun, Wiz. You might not think it's Pharaoh, but
Stop.
Ash got Yugi owned.
Oh,
The
God,
winner
please.
is Yugi Moto.
I figured. Thanks for watching. More fights and comments, and we'll be back even more. Got Broncos.
Death Battle will be back in 2026. But right
Nice.
now, you can check out our brand new channel. It's called Nightly Brew, and we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and other games that'll probably blow up in our face. So check it out right now.
It's crazy how different
make
his
sure to
voice is
subscribe.
to, like,
Thanks.
Boomstick that he plays. So yeah, man, they'll be back in 2026, and I look forward to see what other combinations they come up with. Because honestly, I'm surprised like they haven't run out. But also there's some that they haven't done. I feel like there's some pretty obvious ones that they haven't done. I think, right? Like, when's the last time they had Superman fight? Like, obviously Superman I think just fought Goku a bunch. I don't think he's ever fought, like, not that it'd be a real battle, but like Omni-Man or something. But they did Omni-Man versus Homelander. Superman versus Sentry. Do that one. That'd be so good, right? And you know, more people, like, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, dang, Superman just washes him." But dude, Sentry, if you take in the full breadth of Sentry, what he can do, there's some bullshit going on there. So I think Superman vs. Sentry would be a pretty good fight. I'm trying to think of any other obvious fights that they haven't done. You know, you could do something like, I don't know, I'm looking at my Watchmen books and right there, Dr. Manhattan versus, I don't know, Legion. You know, Charles Xavier's son. That'd be a pretty good fight, which I think Legion would probably win. But yeah, there's some other crazy fights they haven't done yet. But hey, you can always count on Death Battle. All right, it's always pretty good. So make sure you go over to their channel, subscribe over there. All right, I correctly called it down the middle. I said, hey, Yugi is gonna win. Even though I had the Ash hat, which I forgot. I really forgot I had this until I saw him do that. You know. Oh man, make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notify bell so you don't miss out on any new upload or when I go live. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.